I'm sure that everyone in this classroom has faced this problem before. A new movie that finally gets released to the public comes out and you want to watch it. So you gather up all your friends, make a big batch of popcorn, and make the biggest pillow you can, all to just try and get the best possible experience. The time comes, you're flipping through all the channels to try and find the movie, only to realize you don't have it. So you have to take the walk of shame over to your mom and ask her if she could rent the movie for the night. It's a real mood killer, and I don't know if it's the fact that my popcorn gets cold as she types in her credit card number, or just the depressing sigh she gives once I ask her the question, but overall, it really kills movie night when this happens. And I'm sure that everyone's had this happen to them in some way, shape, or form. A new movie comes out, you want to watch it, only to realize you have to pay additional fees in order to actually end up viewing it. At that point, we might as well just go back to watching everything on cable. So this begs the question, have streaming services gotten better over the years, or have they gotten worse? I think they've gotten worse, and I'm going to tell you why. First, let's use our inner discovery channels to figure out why streaming has gone down in quality. Then second, I'll show you why so many streaming services lack the reliability and ease that came with using cable. And finally, as the Terminator put it, I'll be back to show you some ways on how we can shape the future of streaming to be better overall. These days, unless you have the wealth of Tony Stark or Bruce Wayne, streaming services can make some serious dents in your wallet. According to a Digital Media Trends report in March of 2024, on average, American households that subscribe to streaming video entertainment services said that they spend $61 per month for 4 services. But why is this? Well, I have one simple answer for you, and that is lack of crossover between companies. The cost of streaming service subscriptions can really start to pile up for many different reasons, but one of the main reasons that they're just so dang expensive is that you need so many different subscriptions to watch all of your favorite things. For example, if you want to watch sports, you need ESPN. Want to watch superhero movies, you need Disney+. Want to watch just regular old TV? You, my friend, need Netflix. I'm sure you can see the problem here. The sheer number of subscriptions that you need to watch TV these days, it's just too much to keep up with. This is especially bad when you consider all the subscriptions that you don't use or forget to cancel. From the words of Self.Inc. 2024, the monthly average value of unused paid subscriptions is $32.84, an increase from $25.34 in 2023. Netflix is the most unused TV streaming service, with Disney Plus in second position. This growing problem with television expenses is quite a big one, but it's not the only big problem with streaming. Another big reason why streaming just isn't as good as it used to be is because it isn't as easy to use or reliable as cable. The sheer amount of streaming sites that most people have makes the simple question of what to watch a pretty difficult one. Since choosing a site to watch media on is difficult, most people won't regularly use more than a few subscriptions, even though they have many. In a survey by Apple World Today, the results show that most subscribers have an average of 3.3 subscriptions that they aren't using each month. This means that most people have 3 TV subscriptions that are just adding useless extra fees into their monthly streaming cost. Nobody wants to pay money they don't have to. I don't, you don't, nobody does. But yet, many still do, because canceling subscriptions to sites can be difficult or just downright forgettable. Another problem with streaming is that streaming sites also limit what you can watch because of the fact they only recommend you to watch similar things to what you watch regularly, the good old recommended list. This means that, for example, if you were to watch Sharknado 1, you get recommended to watch Sharknado 2, then 3, then before you know it, your entire recommended list is just sharks, tornadoes, and movies starring Tara Reid. Not great, right? No. This overall is going to limit the things that you, as a viewer, are going to end up watching on TV, and explains how the world of streaming is actually limiting your watching capabilities rather than expanding it, like it should. And Netflix, Prime Video, and Hulu are all culprits of this. So this shows that streaming services are expensive, they're hard to use, and they limit what you watch. But why is this a big problem in the first place? Well, it's a big problem because Anna Durrani, a journalist for Forbes News in 2024, stated that an overwhelming 99% of U.S. households now subscribe to at least one or more streaming services, with Disney Plus, Netflix, and Amazon Prime Video all topping the charts. And this goes to show that millions of people in the U.S. alone face the problem of growing streaming expenses. And it just goes to show just how big the problem with modern streaming truly is. Millions of people worldwide are giving up huge amounts of money to tons of different streaming companies and paying for subscriptions that they didn't know existed. With all this said, it seems like the modern world of streaming just isn't as good as it looks to be. It is true, when the idea of streaming first became reality, it was a better alternative to cable, and just about every way. It was easier to use, you could binge, and it was also cheaper since most streaming sites only charge single-digit prices every single month. But it has slowly gone down in quality and up in price. But how did it get to this point in the first place? Well, let's quickly rewind to 10 years ago, where the average television had a cable plugged into it that cost $180 a month, and all of that money just for the privilege of 7-minute ad breaks. Not fun, right? No. And during the same time, some people were catching on to the idea that they could pay only $8 a month for a Netflix subscription, which will get them countless viewing options, all in the comfort of one place. And no ads. This was the golden age of streaming. It was truly better than cable. But now, streaming is worse than cable ever was. Over time, streaming companies have tried harder and harder to make more and more money. And the first way that many streaming sites started to change is when they implemented advertising. This not only gets them paid by the companies they're advertising for, but consumers also pay additional fees in order to not have to watch ads. And on top of this, streaming sites have also slowly made their subscription prices higher and higher to match inflation. And one final big change that streaming companies have made is that they don't have the variety that they once used to. A lot of big streaming companies have begun to lose the rights to show a lot of the popular TV shows and movies that they once had complete freedom to show people. For example, 8-year-old me, I remember when they took Curious George off of Netflix. I walked downstairs that morning excited to eat a big bowl of Captain Crunch and watch my favorite show at the time. I was flipping through the movies selections and only to realize that they simply just lost the rights to show Curious George on Netflix. 8-year-old me, heartbroken. I could hardly touch my Captain Crunch that morning. And it just overall shows that for these 3 reasons, streaming quality has significantly lowered over the years, making it a whole lot worse than it used to be. Okay, I've explained why streaming has gone down in quality, and I've highlighted how it has gotten to this point. But let's quickly step away from all that and explore some ways on how we can improve streaming quality for the better. 2 of the solutions I have are steps you can take as soon as you get home, and one of them would work at a worldwide level. Now, my first solution to help yourself from wasting money on streaming is to become more self-aware of advertising. According to a study by Harvard Business Review in 2024, for advertising to work, it has to attract attention before it does anything else. And that task is much more complicated than in the past because people's attention spans are shorter and more brands compete for attention. This overall means that modern day ads are much more influential than they used to be, and it is especially a large problem for the regular TV viewer because of the sheer amount of ads that they're going to see every single day. So, to protect ourselves from the marketing techniques used by advertising, we can learn to see through the ads that we would normally listen to. So, the next time you see an ad for a tasty looking snack or a snazzy looking hat, just know it's probably not worth buying it. Now, my next personal solution to help yourself from wasting money on streaming is to eliminate streaming sites that you don't use. So, according to an article from Consumer Reports, once you've made a comprehensive list of your streaming services, it might be easy to eliminate some of them. For instance, if you subscribed last year to some niche service, such as Broadway HD, for $20 a month, just to watch some obscure movie or TV show that people were talking about at the time, you can probably let that one go. Because will your life really be that dull if you don't see the end of Yellowstone or Friends? I didn't think so. Eliminating useless streaming sites will not only help you save money, but it will also make using your streaming sites easier since you helped clear it up. And finally, a way that we can make streaming better is to create one big streaming service that has a little bit of everything, all in the comfort of one place. This will not only lower the amount you pay for streaming, but it will also help you find certain viewing options easier. Now, I'm not saying that everyone in the world should pressure every big streaming company into doing this, but we should work together alongside these companies to make something like this happen. Because who wouldn't want to go from Monday Night Football to the Avengers to 3 o'clock news all in one place? To me, that seems like TV paradise, and I think you would think so too. So, in the end, these 3 solutions can be used to help make the world of streaming a better place overall. Now, at the end of the day, TV is TV. I still sit down to watch some good old Netflix from time to time, and I'm sure you do too. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just know, modern day streaming just isn't as good as people make it up to be. It's expensive, confusing, and just downright annoying at times. A big reason that streaming quality has gone down over the years is because it keeps becoming more and more expensive, with some services like Disney Plus still not making money to this day. But there are workarounds for these problems. So the next time you sit down to watch your favorite TV show, just ask yourself, are you on the good side of the TV world, or are you on the dark side?